गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी। कैसे आप सब लोग ठीक है? इज एवरीबॉडी हैप्पी एज वेल एज सेफ at your homes? My dear students, today once again welcome in my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to learn in our 12th business studies. As you know already that we have started the unit number 7, or you can say the chapter number 7, directing. In the last video we had learned about importance of directing. In that video, after finishing the importance of directing, today that is on 28th August 2020, we are going to learn the elements of directing. Elements of directing, it is one of the topics of your chapter number 7, or you can say unit number 7. Today in this lecture, in elements of directing, we will see just the base, or we can say the introductory part of elements of directing. Elements of directing, the first one is supervision. Supervision. The second one is communication. The third one is leadership. And the fourth one is motivation. Yes, dear students, without wasting our time, let's start today's lecture. As I told you earlier, in today's lecture we are going to learn the elements of directing. This chapter number 7, directing, which I have already started, it is my third video, or we can say it is my third lecture on directing. In this third video we are covering one small topic, that is elements of directing. Later on in your textbook you might have seen that after this one after elements of directing, you are having separate topics on supervision, separate topic on communication, separate topic on leadership, and separate topic on motivation. Means on an average, you will have to learn at least 2 questions each. I am saying at least 2 questions each. That's why I am saying separate topics on all these 4 elements of directing. In this lecture, we will see the summarizing part, or we can say that just introductory part of the elements of directing. So let's begin with this. The first one is supervision. My dear students, once again, you will have to connect, you will have to set up link with the meaning of directing, the importance of directing, which we have already learned. Without interconnecting, without establishing link with the meaning and importance, it will be difficult for you people to understand the elements of directing. So it's my suggestion to all of you, if you have not watched my earlier videos, then first you watch my earlier videos. 2 videos are there on directing. In the first video, I have covered meaning definition, and in the second video, I have covered the importance of directing. After watching those videos, then you watch this third video, that is on elements of directing. Without watching or without knowing the meaning of directing, without understanding the importance of directing, one will not be able to understand the elements of directing. That's why it's my suggestion to all of you that once you go through the notes, once you read the book, your NCERT book or reference book, whatever you are having, it's upon you. Why I'm saying this, that whatever you are having, because it is COVID-19, because of this, the pandemic, because of this situation, many of the students might be like this, that they don't have reference book, but anyhow, somehow they have acquired, they have purchased, or they have taken from their available source the NCERT book. So from your NCERT book, first you read the meaning, definition and importance of directing, then watch my videos, then only you will be able to understand this third one, the third topic, that is elements of directing. So let's start. I was saying that there are 4 elements of directing: supervision, communication, leadership and motivation. And I was going to start my discussion on supervision. Meanwhile, I started the suggestions. So let's begin. Once again, I'm saying supervision. Just go word to word first. If you bifurcate this word super, vision, supervision, by this word itself, one relationship is hidden over here, the relationship between the superior and subordinate. Who will supervise? My dear students, think about this, that who will supervise whom? Who is superior? Super. Who is superior? The superior will supervise. The superior will supervise. To whom will he supervise? He will supervise to his subordinates. So supervision means vision. Vision of the superior. The superior will supervise to the subordinates. If you see the example, we have already learnt about the levels of management. Top level of management, middle level of management, lower level of management. Top level of management supervises the works of middle level of management. The middle level of management supervises the works of lower level of management. Now the question is, what is supervision? Supervision means keeping eye, keeping watch on the work done by the subordinates. So for example, I am your boss. You are my subordinates. I have issued you directions, the meaning of directing. I have issued you instructions. I have issued you orders. And as per my orders, as per my instructions, as per my guidance, you have started working. Now your work will be watched. Your work will be supervised by me. So what I am doing? I am doing supervision. I am keeping eye, keeping watch on you people. For what? To confirm. To confirm it that are you doing your work according to my instructions, according to my orders, according to my guidance. So we can say that supervision, it is one of the important elements of directing. It is one of the important elements of directing. Because of supervision only, you will also take care. You will means the subordinate will also take care. The subordinate will be aware. He will be aware that my work, my activities are being watched by my superior. So such type of awareness will be there among the subordinates. Subordinate will be aware of this, that my activities are being watched, so I should not commit mistake. I should follow the instructions, I should follow the guidance, I should follow the orders, because he is aware. He is aware that my activities are being watched, my activities are being supervised by my superior. So it is one benefit, it is one side of the supervision, that subordinates are aware and they will take care. Plus, the second side, if you think from the superior side, the superior will watch, as well as if he find any deviation, if he find any mistake, or if you find that the work is not done according to instructions, according to orders, or according to plan, then he can re-guide. He can once again give guidance to his subordinates, that my dear subordinates, it was our plan, these instructions were given to you, these orders were issued, but I have been observing that it is not done according to our plan. So if it is not done according to our plan, then we will not be able to achieve our target. So on the spot, he can make changes or he can give guidance, instructions once again accordingly as it is needed. So this first element is clear to all of you that it is beneficial for both, for superior as well as for subordinate. That subordinate is aware that my work is being watched, as well as the superior can have verification, assurance that my subordinates are working accordingly. Got it? No doubt in this. The first element, that is supervision. Supervision, main work of supervision. At the beginning, I gave you the example of levels of management. So think about who is doing the main work of supervision physically. The physically main work of supervision is done by the lower level of management. Because this lower level of management only is in direct contact with the workforce, with the workers, with the employees. Okay. But as far as the concern, the meaning is concerned, or we can say that importance is concerned, then I told you that supervision is at the top level also, middle level also, and lower level also, but the main supervision work is done by the lower level of management. Okay. So first one is clear? Yes? Okay. Let's begin with this second one, that is communication. My dear student, it is also one of the important elements of directing, communication. The meaning of communication is very simple. What is meant by communication? Yes? You know already. You have learned earlier also the communication. The communication means, yes. The communication means sharing. Yes. Whatever you are thinking correctly. The communication means sharing or exchange of ideas, thoughts, views, opinions, informations from one person to another person. Right now, what I am doing? I am doing the same thing. Verbal communication. I am communicating with you people. Yes, verbal communication. I am sharing the information which I am having about elements of directing, the information, the knowledge which I am having, I am sharing with you people through verbal communication. Yes? So, meaning, what is meaning? Meaning is the sharing or exchange of ideas, thoughts, informations, etc. from one person to another person. It was the meaning of communication. Now think about, you will have to link it with directing. How communication is one of the important elements of directing. From top level to lower level and among the employees, everywhere there is need and importance of communication. Without communication, the coordination cannot be established, and without coordination, no team work is possible. And we know very well that management is team effort. It is group activity. It is group effort. So, without communication, how coordination can be established? And without coordination from top level to middle level to lower level and to employees. This the coordination cannot be established, and without coordination goal cannot be achieved. So we can say that for establishing the coordination, the communication is required. For synchronization, the communication is required. Yes or no? Are you getting me? Everybody? Okay. Superior and subordinate. Once again, we will have to discuss the relationship between superior and subordinates. Subordinate communicates with his superior communicates with his subordinates. What will superior will communicate to subordinate? Formal as well as informal. Both the types of communications will be there. Now think what is formal communication and what is informal communication. Very simple example. As you know very well about the top level of management. Top level of management, उनका काम क्या है? What is their work? Their main work is thinking, planning, designing. Yes, it is their main work. That the top level of management, it is a brain of the organization. Top level of management is that type of body which plans in their minds. Ideas comes into mind. Ideas comes in their mind, and they start thinking over the ideas. Main planning work is done by them only. So whatever ideas they are having, whatever plans they are having, they will transfer it, they communicate it to the middle level of management. Middle level of management, with the help of top level of management, they will transfer it to the lower level of management. But my dear students, whatever is planned, whatever is decided, that will be implemented, that will be executed, that will be enacted by only lower level of management. In this example, if you are aware, then without communication, it is not possible. Top level of management, they communicated their plan, their ideas to the middle level. Middle level communicated the plans of the top level, the ideas of top level to the lower level. Now it's in the hands of lower level of management that how they are going to execute it, how they are going to implement it. So without communication, is it possible? No, not possible. That's why I told you that superior will communicate to the subordinate. What did I say? The superior will communicate the subordinate. These things which I told you, that the plans, the targets, goals, ideas, instructions, orders, all these are the examples of formal communication. But for coordination, only formal communication is not required. Informal communication is also required. Informal communication. Because with the help of formal communication, you will have only business relations, only formal relations. But my dear students, as we know very well, human beings, to control human beings, to manage human beings. If you are having only business relations, then with the help of only business relations, you cannot survive in the market. Yes or no? So suppose I am your superior, you are my subordinate, then I will have to follow formal the communication as well as informal communication. Means what? I will ask you that how are you? I will take care of you. I will ask about your home also. I will ask about your family also. And if the possible, I will help you in your the personal requirements also. So these things is informal, and issuing orders, instructions, guidance, it is formal communication. To retain the employee, in the organization, both the types of the communications are required. Not only formal communication, but informal communication also required. Now you think that people go to their offices, the people go to their companies, people go to their institutions wherever they are working. They work there for hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, many a times 10 hours also they work over there. Continuously like this they are working from years. From so many years they are working in the same organization, they are working in the same company. So the reason is not only the formal relations. There is a reason, the informal relation also, which is established by superior with their subordinates. I am your boss. If I am maintaining only formal communication, only formal relations, then a day will come, you will get bored. You will get bored. You will feel pressure. Means what? Mentally there will be fatigue, and you will think that this boss is not good, or this firm is not good for me. But simultaneously, if I am maintaining the informal communication also, I am feeling concern. What I am saying? I am feeling concern in your family also, in your personal problem also. Then you will feel concern in me. You will feel concern with the institution. You will feel concern with that company also. So these things, this formal communication as well as informal communication, both they sail through for long term, and this is the thing for which that employee works for years. So now I think these both the points are clear. Supervision, communication. Third one is leadership. Leadership quality. This already we have discussed in the importance of management. My dear students, what is a leadership? Leadership means very simple. Sorry. Leadership means influencing others. Influencing others. Leadership means to influence others. Leadership means that effective quality. There are two things. One is efficient, the other is effective. Efficient and effective. One might be efficient. ये मेरा sentence पे ध्यान देना आप. One might be efficient, but the person who is efficient, he must be effective, not necessary. Agree with me? Who is efficient, he will be effective, that not necessary. The person who is effective, the person who is influential, only that person can lead others. Got it? What I'm saying? You must be efficient, but you may not be effective. So the person who is influential, the person who is effective, that person leads others. That person leads others. That is called as leadership. If I am influential person, if I am effective person, then I can read your minds. The person who can read minds, that only can lead others. Means what? What is mean by leadership? What I want that you should do, and I will get it done from you through my that influential personality, through my effective personality. That is called as leadership. Got it? So it is important or not? It is important for directing. The superior or the manager must have this leadership quality, because in the absence of leadership quality, directing is not possible. Only that person can give directions, orders, and only that person can get the work from others who has leadership quality. So that's why leadership also one of the important elements of directing. Motivation. To motivate. To motivate means to encourage. To motivate means to encourage others. To motivate others, to encourage others that you do this work. Without motivation, work cannot be done from others. Superior will have to motivate to his subordinate. Motivate for what? Motivate to work. That motivation can take place by communication, by effective communication. Motivation can take place by monetary benefit, but only monetary benefit cannot motivate to work. With the monetary motivation, the director, or we can say that the person who is giving directions, the person who is manager, they should have good communication also. So through communication, through monetary benefits, the manager will influence, will motivate to his subordinate, and then subordinates will be motivated to work hard. Because of the motivation of the manager, they will give their 100%. If in directing motivation is not there, then no employee will be interested. No employee will give his 100%. No employee will be devoted to his work. So that's why I am saying that all these are the important elements of directing. My dear students, I am going to summarize my today's lecture. In today's lecture, what we learned? We learned about the elements of directing. The first one we learned supervision. The second one we learned about communication, and third one leadership, and fourth one just now I finished that motivation. So over here, the third lecture on directing I am going to finish. If anybody has any query, any doubt, then they can ask me. You're having my phone numbers. as well as you can write in comment box. And if you like my video, then my dear students, like it as well as share it. As I told you that motivation, so your comments, your likes are motivation for me. I am motivated to make more better videos for you people. So, thank you very much for kind cooperation. That's all for the day. Enjoy yourself.